Hello, Internet. Sorry. Buongiorno, bella gente. You're here with me, and welcome to a Star Wars Theory. This is going to get really deep, so be sure to pay close attention, as you may miss something very vital to the official Star Wars canon, and some spoilers may eke out of my mouth hole, so fair warning. Let's begin! Stargate 1138. Today I want to attempt to uncover the mystery of the Jedi Master Kit Fisto. Who is he? Where did he come from? Where did he go? Where did he come from? Alright. Is he really dead? I mean, let's talk. Kit Fisto is from the planet Selm, an oceanic planet where it's said that entire cities are on giant turtles that only surface to breathe every couple of 100 years or something like that, which is awesome. His species is called the Nautilans, and they're known for having a head full of tentacles, which is why fanfictions are crawling with Kit Fisto. He witnessed the Clone Wars, and he valiantly fought in them, only to be cut down at the very end of the war by the one he was fighting for, Chancellor Palpatine. Next time you elect a galactic leader, best to make sure they aren't the devil incarnate before you do. Am I right? Hey. That was the end of his story, right? Wrong! If you take a look at this... No, video, that's not the reference I was going for, this time at least. If you take a look at this image from Revenge of the Sith, you'll see the grim, too soon death of Kit Fisto. And if you take a look... If you take a look at this next image, you'll see no body of Mr. Master Fisto. Why is that? Let's think about how the Force works with life in this universe. Is it possible Kit could have been so strong with the Force that he instantly came back to life? Could he have simply stood back up and walked away? Possibly. But hey, that's just a Sorry. Let's talk some more. Kit Fisto would need to be able to control a physical object as a Force ghost in order to make this happen, yet the only one at the time who knew how to become one with the living Force was Qui-Gon Jinn, who learned the skill from the ancient shaman of the Wills, who has not been said to have come into any contact at all with Master Fisto. What else could allow him to move his body after death? Allow me, if you will, to present the option that Kit Fisto was never a living being to begin with. Oh! What if Kit Fisto was an animatronic Nautilin, created to help raise up Sith warriors? Don't believe me? Let's talk some more then, shall we? Let's say that this story takes place roughly 1,000 years before the Clone Wars on the planet Selm, where the Nautilin species that word. A mad Sith scientist, who arrives with a loud whooshing noise, creates a mechanical being fashioned after the native species in order to capture children and raise them up to be Sith warriors for the upcoming Battle of Takodana. With silicone skin and a cortosis endoskeleton, Darth Anthus took him to Takodana and named him Kit Fisto because he was made with a kit, and he punches with his fists. What, you thought it was cooler than that? Well, not everything in Star Wars has to be completely awesome, gosh! Anyway, this mechanical being began to lure children away from their families with glasses of Java juice as bait. As soon as a child got close enough, they would get pulled into a storage compartment in Kit Fisto's torso and taken to a mysterious bear man to be trained as a Sith. Tragic! Once set free from the chest compartment, the children would meet one Darth Anthus, the true Lord of the Sith. His vicious bear head only accentuated his evil laugh that took 2 days to come to a complete stop. Oh, evil. Darth Anthus trained the children for 200 years, but realized that the first batch of trainees were 200 years old now, so they couldn't go into battle. The result was a lack of specially trained warriors that would have been the last word in the battle, but the Jedi won. The Sith were defeated, and Darth Anthus took 10 years to run away into the cave directly behind him. Kit Fisto returned to his home planet of Selm, where he would go into hiding for close to 1,000 years until the Jedi Order would find him. How would the Jedi Order find a machine with the Force? Perhaps the Jedi mistook him for an organic being in a Force vision. Maybe the Force found favor with such a lifelike device and flowed through the animatronic Nautilin. Maybe. Or maybe Darth Anthus placed a dark side spell on him using the knowledge given by the Sith scientist. Huh? It makes total sense. How else would a Jedi be able to sense a droid in the Force? They can't, unless the aura given by Kit Fisto was that of his old master, Darth Anthus. That's right. Darth Anthus put his own dark side aura onto Kit Fisto in order to fool, well, the Order. The ultimate revenge of the Sith. Huh. It makes even more sense when you think about the reasons behind Palpatine's revenge. He was trying to maintain the lineage of the Sith, handed down by Darth Anthus 1,000 years before the Clone Wars. But why would Palpatine strike down the very one who holds the aura of Darth Anthus? Let's talk some more then, shall we? Sorry. During the Clone Wars, Master Fistu was an outstanding warrior. Sure, there was some casualties along the way, like Fistu's former apprentice, Nadar Veb, at the hands of General Grievous, who may have also been made by this magical Sith scientist, who knows? But all in all, Master Fistu had a fairly easy life. He was promoted to Jedi Master without any complications, and he was a loyal knight and an obedient Padawan. What's that? How was he a Padawan if he was already a full-size Nautilus? That's a very understandable question until you realize that animatronics are adaptable. Yes. See, after the Battle of Takodana, Kit got rid of a lot of his previous parts and built a smaller, simpler version of himself that just so happened to look like a child. Ironic, isn't it? He would slowly upgrade his body in secret after noticing the organics grow over time. Anyway, at the very end of the Clone Wars, when Anakin brought news that Sheev Palpatine was a Sith Lord, Kit knew what was about to take place. Palpatine didn't know that the very essence of Darth Anthus, who was probably still on Takodana, eating his third meal since the Great Battle, was on Kit. So when Mace Windu, Saesee Tin, Agen Kolar, and Kit Fistu went to confront the Chancellor, Sidious didn't mind slicing through each and every one of them. And this is where things get juicy. Right after Sidious's saber sliced through Kit Fistu's chest, Kit simply stood up and walked away like it was nobody's business. He would need to avoid being seen, of course, so he would have to find a place to hide. I mean, yeah, a place none other than Palpatine's coat closet. While hiding, Kit overheard the details of Order 66 and made his choice right then and there. He detached all of his tentacles and went into actual hiding instead of just hiding in a closet. He returned to his home planet of Lucasfilm and hid there during the rise and fall of the Galactic Empire. Now, how did the Jedi not find him, you may ask? Simple. He changed his name. Oh, what's that? What did he change his name to? All in good time, my little biscuit. All in good time. After the fall of the Galactic Empire and the reformation of the Galactic Republic, Kit decided to travel the galaxy in search of his old master, Darth Anthus. Darth Anthus had finally went to bed for the first time since the Battle of Takodana, only to be woken up by his former Padawan, Kit Fistu. Or as he's now known as... Snoke. That's right. Kit Fistu is Supreme Leader Snoke of the First Order. Oh, how can this be, you may ask? Well, here's the deets. The Billy Deets Williams, if you will. During the events of the novel Bloodline, when Ben Solo was a child, Snoke was wandering the galaxy looking for a virgins in the Force that Darth Anthus had told him about, only after he told Snoke of his true origins, which took 5 years to explain. When the mad scientist arrived over 1,000 years ago in his blue, whooshy, timey-wimey machine, he was trying to escape his past of accused murder of several children in a pizzeria that he established. This man, one William Afton, stole his business partner's robotic blueprints and traveled back a long time ago to a galaxy far, far away. See me working here? When Mr. Afton arrived to Gleeanselm, he was a bit overwhelmed by all the Nautilins, but he was more concerned with the conflict that he was hearing about between the Jedi and the Sith. Darth Anthus found him, and the rest is completely official canon. Yes, it is. And what's that? What about the Snoke we see in episode 7? Well, let's talk even more then, shall we? I'm gonna have to stop that. After learning about his past, Snoke followed his master's directions and went to look for young Ben Solo. Ben was a full-fledged Jedi Padawan by this time under the tutelage of Luke Skywalker. Snoke arrived to find a new generation of Jedi being raised up. This activated his tear mechanism slightly to see the order being restored. He quickly wiped it away because he's kind of a dark side user, so yeah. He approached young Ben, who was probably flirting with girls or whatever it was that young Jedi men did, and the two hit it off right then and there. They would go on to become the best of pals. Nothing could ever separate the two, minus one little detail. Ben was starting to have family issues, and the color of Luke's lightsaber triggered all kinds of negative vibes, man. And Snoke felt really bad about all this because his latex skin was the same color. Tragic. Snoke, being the sentimental animatronic that he was, decided to bleach his skin to a pale gray color in order to continue his friendship with young Ben Solo. Sadly, the procedure went horribly, like, really badly. He got a big scar on his head, and his endoskeleton got all bent out of shape. In order to maintain a somewhat public image, Snoke knitted a cloth robe out of tree bark that he would wear for the rest of his days. Snoke would then proceed to tell Ben about the dark side, and how his master would take hundreds of years to start this newfangled thing called the First Order out of the remnants of the Empire. He also told Ben about his history and his involvement with the Jedi Order back in the day, and how he changed his name and his appearance to avoid being purged like the rest of the Jedi. Ben felt really bad for Snoke and all that he went through, The life of an animatronic is hard, man. Ben began to bawl his eyes out and express his desire to help his friend out. He did owe him after all, after the whole skin thing that Snoke did for him. So he turned to the dark side and changed his name to Kylo Ren and was put in charge of his own little regime called the Knights of Ren, who were the remnants of Death Watch from Mandalore, once ruled by the notorious dark side user Maul. More on that in another video. Anyway, after this happened, he convinced young Kylo Ren that, from his point of view, the Jedi are evil! So the Knights of Ren went ahead and executed the second official Jedi Purge and destroyed all of Luke's students. Yay! Luke went into hiding and Snoke and Kylo started the First Order. After several years of being jerks to the galaxy, one stormtrooper rebelled and the rest is history. And that's where this theory comes to an end. This is all 100% accurate with Star Wars canon, and I didn't make any of this up at all. Stop staring at me like that. So, on that note, let me know what you think in the comments, and please don't say mean things. Stop staring! Anyway, so that's that. Lord bless the audience, keep them safe in Jesus' name. Arrivederci, bella gente, stop staring at me like that!